Skyrim is one of the most ambitious and expansive titles in video game history, and with additional side quests attached to almost every location within the game, there's an abundance of lore and storytelling nestled around every corner for players to find. Even all these years on from the initial release, there are still a bunch of secrets that evade most players' save files. Obscure locations that really require an intense amount of exploring to uncover, and lost storylines that are never pointed to within the game help keep players debating amongst themselves about some of the biggest mysteries and secrets that are still hidden within the home of the Nords. Here's our take on some of the most intriguing and eerie secrets hidden within Skyrim and where you can find them. I'm Jess from WhatCulture, and here are the 10 most disturbing Skyrim secrets and where to find them. Number 10. Sils Hideout, Randvik's Fast. Located on the border between the southern Whiterun Hold Mountains and the marshes of Hjalmarch, Randvik's Fast is a large Nordic ruin, housing a truly chilling secret within its walls. Adventurers who approach the ruins will find a bunch of tormented ghosts who will attack them on sight. However, these ghosts will reveal that fighting isn't what they want at all, and will almost plead for adventurers to leave the place or give them some rest. Players who enter the ruins will find a word wall for the kind's peace shout, but approaching the wall will trigger a trapdoor that drops them into a cage and into the arms of Sild the Warlock. It turns out that Randvik's Fast has been taken over by Sild, a cruel and sadistic mage. The wizard has created these traps to lure in unsuspecting adventurers, torturing them and then imprisoning their souls. Not cool. Sild delights in the pain he causes his victims, and one of his journals found inside Randvik's Fast will even reveal his disappointment when one of his victims died before he could inflict the maximum amount of torment on him. Number 9. The Story of Hub's Family, Frostflow Lighthouse. Located between Dawnstar, Winterhold, and the Sea of Ghosts, this particular lighthouse houses one of the more tragic and disturbing stories in all of Skyrim. Adventurers who stumble upon the lighthouse will be greeted by the bloody sight of a dead woman and a chorus corpse. For those who have the stomach for it, the lower level of the lighthouse spills out into a small series of tunnel networks that are invested by Chorus and Sickly Farmer. Delving deeper into the tunnels will reveal the gruesome fate of the woman's family at the hands of the creatures. Searching the farmer camps will reveal the bodies of Manny and Sudi, as well as their journals that show them how exactly they died. The cavern's final room will reveal the family's killer, a huge Chorus Reaper that still has the remains of the family's father Habd inside its stomach. By avenging the family and killing the creatures, players can take back Hub's remains and light the lighthouse's beacon, earning themselves the secret bonus of Sailor's Repose, an active effect that makes healing effects 10% more effective. Number 8. The Fate of the Hjalmarch Camp, Apprentice Stone. Hjalmarch is amongst Skyrim's darkest, most bleakest holds. With the Hjal River running through the bulk of it, the hold is dominated by misty marshlands and a putrid grey colour. It's also got a bunch of mud crabs, frostbite spiders, and vampires who are eager to get a bite of you. The area is so dangerous that not even the most fearsome of bandit clans have established themselves with a strong presence. This only makes the discovery of a small camp in between Morthal, the Hold's capital, and the nearby city of Solitude an even bigger mystery. There are a couple of individuals who can still be found sitting around the camp, but you'll only find their bloody remains, so it's safe to say things didn't go so well. All of their valuables have been left behind, meaning it couldn't have been bandits, and unlike most other places in Skyrim, there aren't even any nearby enemies to help players learn what exactly happened here. Number 7. Agrias' Tale, Haldir's Cairn. Haldir's Cairn is a small cave that can be found in Skyrim, which most players wouldn't even know it exists, since it's all the way down at the southernmost point of the map. Falkreath is a hold that doesn't really have a lot going for it in terms of interesting missions and lore. However, Haldir's Cairn houses one of the most intriguing mysteries in the entire game. Players who enter the cave will find 3 dead bandits lying around a small pedestal, with a blue beam of light shooting upwards. A note on one of the bandits will tell the player that the trio had recently moved into the cave, but were slowly being taken over and enthralled by an unseen power in the area with them. By scaling through the cairn and learning more about this resting place for the ghosts of the ancient Nords, players will come across Haldir. Haldir is a powerful Draga mage that possesses the power of duplicating his spectral self and commands all of the enemies encountered within the dungeon. One of the few Draga within the game capable of mastering the various arcane arts, Haldir is responsible for the blue beam of light, using the life essence of those he traps to fuel himself with greater power, before sending them to their doom, and summoning them to serve him even after death. Number 6. Skyrim Schuma Trade, Redwater Den. On the surface, Redwater Den just looks like a burned out hut that's located in the middle of the Rift's wilderness. However, uncovering the den's secret entrance will reveal a far more complex and sinister level of mystery to the building. An undercover drug den tucked away from the law, players are invited by the den's workers to sit back and try out some of their world-famous Redwater skooma. Taking them up on their offer will knock the player out, regardless of skills or levels, and have them awaken in a prison cell. As it turns out, you've been imprisoned by a group of vampires who are hoping to unlock the mysteries of the Blood Spring, a natural phenomenon that has the potential to reward vampires with improved powers. The leader of Redwater Den's clan of vampires, Venaris Vulpin, leaves behind his journal so you can figure out more about exactly what his motivations are. He explains how he's able to harness the essence of the Blood Spring to brew up Redwater's special blend of skooma and continually guarantee a good supply of people for his clan to feast on. By infusing the power of the Blood Spring into the skooma, which his victims in turn consume, Vulpin's vampires are far more nourished by their feasting afterwards. Number 5. Dunabarenia and Treasure Hunting, Torvald's Cave. Located right in between Windhelm and Riften and tucked in between a collection of mountains, Torvald's Cave is one of the most expansive and mysterious caves in all of Skyrim, featuring 4 different separate location IDs in the game's code. Players who stumble across and enter Torvald's Cave will come across a treasure hunter's journal. This details their plan of going into the cave themselves and stripping it of the treasures he'd heard were housed inside. And though ice wraiths and bears would have been easily dealt with by him, the cave's placement on top of a dwarven ruin brings with it the threat of the Falmer, something that would overcome the hunter soon after his arrival. Exploring through the remainder of the systems will reveal that dark elves from Morrowind would frequently use Torvald's Cave as passage between their country and Skyrim, with the ghosts inside serving as a creepy reminder of those that didn't make it through their trip. The Dark Elf Queen Berenzia's crown will also spawn in Torvald's Cave, assuming you picked up all those pesky stones of Berenzia. Number 4. The Mystery of the Glowing Mushrooms, Lost Echo Cave. An old Nordic tomb located in the furthest reaches in the north of Skyrim, past Solitude, Lost Echo Cave is a location like no other in the game. Upon entering the tomb, the first thing players will notice is the sheer abundance of the strange glowing mushrooms that usually indicate the presence of Falmer or Chorus. Besides the mushrooms, however, there's initially very little of note in this cave that appears to just be 2 empty caverns. Picking one of the cave's mushrooms and burning it in the second cavern's ceremonial brazier will unlock the mystery of the fallen king of Lost Echo Cave, opening up another room to players and revealing the hidden Falmer farms inside. These Falmer farms are far more expansive and widespread than the basic 2 caverns would have led players to believe, and they're filled with Falmer of varying types, as well as their Chorus and Chorus Hunter pets. Though it might not be the best looting place, the cave is really interesting in how it gives you insight into how the Falmer function, live, and farm when left to their own devices. Or, when you're not killing them. Number 3. Winterhold's Approach to Justice, The Chill. Winterhold is a cold, desolate place located right in the top corner of Skyrim. Though once a proud and noble city, half of the town has fallen into the Sea of Ghosts following the land's great collapse. That means that unless you're following the College of Winterhold questline, there's very few reasons to check this hamlet out. Because of the lack of manpower and resources, Winterhold is the one town in the whole game without an official jail. If you're caught doing something illegal when in the hold, players will be transported all the way to the Chill, a unique location that's only discovered when being arrested. Though it is the only jail where the player gets to keep all their items, there's only one lockpick and the place is defended by a Frost Atronach. Even if you take down that Atronach, 2 more guard the entrance to the Chill, and the cave's location is out in the middle of the treacherous ice plains rife in Winterhold. Though it answers the mystery of how Winterhold's justice is dished out, it's a tough lesson to take. Number 2. The Wreck of the Silver Moon, the Lady Stone. An unmarked location just south of the Lady Stone at the bottom of Lake Ilinalta, the Silver Moon is a small ship that has been at the bottom of the lake's floor for as long as the nearby inhabitants of Riverwood can remember. The question of why or how the ship came to be there and the unknown contents of its cargo make this one of the more intriguing mysteries in the game. The ship has been broken in half, either by its sinking or the natural erosion of time going by, and is now only home to the odd collection of barnacles and slaughterfish. The one character still found on board the ship is the Silver Moon's captain, lying in his cabin with his weapon still in one hand and a collection of loot available for plundering. Though it's fairly obvious what brought about his death, the mysteries of what happened to the rest of the crew and the other cargo on board are left hidden from players. Number 1. Arendelles Paradise, Yngvild. Yngvild is an ancient Nordic tomb located at the very furthest northern part of Skyrim, a location that was supposedly the very first bit of land stepped on by the legendary Ysgramor when he returned. It also quite possibly wins the award for the creepiest and most disturbing location in the game. Home to the necromancer Arendelle, who's taken up refuge inside the burial tombs following his exile from Dawnstar, Yngvild is filled with female ghosts and draugr that this high elf has been experimenting on. Arendelle's journals found within the tombs reveal that he enjoys the young milkmaids from the area, and has had so much practice defiling the graves of the ancient Nords that he now has the power to reanimate even the freshest of corpses. The ghosts inside Yngvild are troubled and tormented by Arendelle, and they'll turn on him if you can dislodge the soul gem that's controlling them. Though it might only bring them some peace, it does begin to help players understand some of the mysteries of necromancy and the horrors it can bring with it. That's the end of our list, but let me know down in that comments section what is the most disturbing thing you've encountered in all of Skyrim. As always, I've been Jess from WhatCulture. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like, you can come say hi to me on my Twitter account where I'm at Jess McDonald, or my Twitch account where I'm Temptress, but make sure you stay tuned to us here for plenty more gaming goodness.